This tutorial here, we're going to take a look at what one might consider a complex circuit. I'm in page 271 of the Floyd text. I'm looking at homework exercise number 23, and this is figure 772 here. And we're going to go through this and just start analyzing how we would redraw this to figure the resistance between various node points here. And then we're going to redraw the diagram and go ahead and figure out the resistance. Okay, so the first part here we're going to cover is we're going to just take a look at the area between A and B here, okay, and the resistance there. Okay, as we look at this, pretty obvious here as we go down this particular branch that we got two resistors in parallel here, resistor 1, resistor 2. As we come down this branch, it gets a little more complicated. We can come down here, we're going to redraw it, and we'll see that we'll have resistor 3 here. Come on down here, and we'll see resistor 4. Now, if we come down this other branch here, we'll find that it connects back into point C here, and it also connects in to the central point here. Okay. Now, before we really get involved in analyzing this, let's simplify one particular aspect, and that's this area I'm circling right around here. That this whole segment of the circuit is going to contain no current flow, and the reason is that there's no difference in potential over here. Okay, so as we analyze this circuit, we could take this area from here to the left and disregard it because it's not going to be part of our total resistance when we're examining between nodes A and B. Okay, well, let's go ahead and try and draw something. I'm in Microsoft Word here, so we're not going to it's not going to be that impressive, but I think we have enough tools here we can make this happen. So I put point A up here and I put point B up here, and what we'll do with point A and point B is we'll go ahead and try and draw a linear configuration here. Okay, so I'll take and pop a line in here between A. Let's move that down a little bit. Okay, and I'll grab another line here. Move that over here, and we're obviously going to have some things in parallel. Alright, so let's start over here and let's redraw the circuit so we show, well, one, we're going to have some parallel circuits here, and we're also going to have some serial circuits. And if we look at between A and B down this branch here, we find that we have resistor 1 and resistor 2 in series. Okay, so let me grab those and we'll draw those in here. Alright, so I got a couple more lines over here. We'll put this here. Let me grab resistor 1, move resistor 1 up into here. Alright, well, okay, now we got to put resistor 2 in there, and that's in series, so I'll redraw that here, resistor 2. That resistor 2 created over here, we'll pop that in there. Okay, there's resistor 2, and at that point here, we're going to branch back over to B. And I'll draw some lines to reflect that. Okay, so there's our first branch. Let's go to the next branch now. Let's go from A, and here we're going to go through resistor 3 and A through resistor 4. And note that this is going to be a parallel arrangement. So this branch is parallel with this branch and this branch over here. So let me throw those together now. Okay. So we'll start with resistor 3. Let's move that over. And we got resistor 4 over here. Let's pop that in. Okay, so now we've successfully redrawn the resistor pathway, the current pathway from point A to point B. And now we can write this out so it makes a little more sense for us. Okay, so if I go down here, let me tab in a little bit here. We're going to find that our path is going to be, well, let's start with the first branch, R1, and that's in series with R2. And then we're looking at, and that's in parallel with R3, which is in parallel with R4. And then if we were going to go ahead and write this as an equation, right, we would take, well, let's move up here to do this. So to find a total resistance, we would take the inverse, put a big bracket around this, superscript my inverse here. Oop. That's subscript. Let's try that again. Superscript. There we go. Okay, so we have that superscripted. Let's raise this font a little bit. So you can see that a little better. Alright. So we're going to take what? Inside here we need to figure 1 over R1 plus R2. Right? And add to that 1 over R3. I'm running out of screen space here. Let's pull this over. Plus 1 over R4. Okay. And then we take, after completing that sum, we take the inverse of all that. So we've taken what has appeared to be a very complex circuit and we've simplified it, first by redrawing it. And once we have it redrawn, then we can actually find the total resistance using inverses.